Welcome back to your latest aviation news recap. Taking off yesterday means there was no video, so I do apologize for that. Today there's coverage on an airline expansion, problems once again at the Qantas group, British Airways eyeing a massive Boeing or Airbus order, and concerns for United, Delta and American Airlines when it comes to Israeli flights. Sticking with orders, according to Bloomberg, the International Airlines Group, or IAG, which is home to the likes of British Airways, Aer Lingus, and Iberia, is targeting a new order for Airbus or Boeing aircraft, with the destination being uncertain at this point. The report indicates that the group is trying to acquire wide-body jets that can operate long distances. Notably, the focus is on replacing Boeing 777s at the British Airways company, the older portion of the fleet, which is beginning to age, certainly. British Airways operates a fleet of over 200 aircraft. However, of the 240 active aircraft, 43 represent the 777-200ER, and interestingly, when measured by average age, these are the oldest within the fleet. British Airways' oldest 777-200ER sits at 26.7 years, with a mean of 23.5 years. These are substantially getting on there for an age, and for a leading national flag carrier, attempting to move toward more fuel-efficient planes is definitely something they're looking towards, and therefore a replacement is required. The report from Bloomberg highlighted the desire for around 20 aircraft, with Airbus and Boeing being pitted against each other to supply the aircraft required. However, the specifics on exact replacements have yet to be identified, with that truly up in the air, no pun intended. British Airways already operates a pretty diverse portfolio of planes, but when focusing on wide-body operations solely, well, this includes next-generation planes from the A350 series, every single variant of the 787 Dreamliner, and the upcoming 777X, which at this point in time does remain uncertified and therefore undelivered, but you'll imagine that will eventually join the fleet in the coming years. Therefore, when understanding which direction the International Airlines Group will head for British Airways, wherever it does go, it'll be in familiar territory. It'll be now down to the respective plane makers to pitch their best deal and option to replace these Boeing 777s, and with time, no doubt, we'll have a better understanding of where they'll choose to head. Qantas Freight, part of the Qantas group, is currently experiencing problems thanks to issues across the country. Quoting a further 2 weeks, the freight division of the Qantas group noted that it could be weeks before the backlog is cleared. This comes directly from a system blackout that actually occurred on September 24th. And yes, while a few weeks ago now, it is still hurting Qantas Freight and airports right around Australia. Again, if one minor thing goes wrong at an airline or freight company or really anyone within the aviation industry, the negative effects can continue on for much longer than just the blackout occurs, even if it is just for a couple of moments. While Brisbane is slated to return to normal this week, both ports of Melbourne and Sydney that deal with a substantial volume of traffic are expected to lag behind the city I first mentioned. While shipments have been a substantial focus of the delays, the freight company also notes it is struggling massively with keeping freight arrivals and departures moving through ports on time. Extra resources and a 24/7 operation are truly working around the clock to speed up the recovery, equally dealing with delivery area and spreading distribution thanks to the help of partner airlines, Qantas having a pretty extensive network when it comes to airlines it works with. While Qantas is working to fix the issues, as you would expect, criticisms have been directed towards the national carrier over a response time that what many believe lagged, alongside furious companies that are dealing with not just the delay, but also the substantial repercussions from the blackout, likely being in the area of finance. Several airlines based in the United States have suspended services to Israeli airports following the emergence of conflict. The significant airlines won't operate towards Tel Aviv, citing security reasons. This does include Delta, United Airlines, and American Airlines, the makeup of the Big Three. UA954 from San Francisco towards Tel Aviv did turn around during its journey to Israel, specifically over Greenland. The aircraft did end up heading back to San Francisco for what was truly a flight to nowhere. While the airport in Israel remains open per the US Embassy at the time of recording, the escalating situation does mean that for scheduled passenger operations, there is a lot of sensitivity around the safety of the passengers on board, the crew, and the aircraft in general. Conditions will need to change for the major US airlines such as your United Delta and American to return to these services. Safety, again, is the top priority of all three, and spokespeople of the companies have ushered these words. The repatriation of citizens within Israel will be hot on the lips now of most. As with any type of conflict, finding ways to assist those who need to return home is normally of paramount importance. Delta specifically said to Fox News Digital that it intends to work directly with the US government to assist those that need help. While these three airlines have suspended operations to Israel, the expectation is more could follow. Those that are still flying from any corner of the globe have been told to execute a degree of caution when moving through the country, given what has been taking place there. Over to Wizz Air, well, they've announced a pretty big expansion, with many new routes being revealed as part of a continued view to grow. The major budget European carrier will commence operations from December 13 towards Aqaba in Jordan, with service originating in Katowice twice weekly. Katowice will also see increases in flying, with Brussels-Charleroi beginning one day later on December 14th. The initial plan is for this route to be operated twice weekly as well. A commitment to Katowice is high, with routes over 30 now and multiple aircraft being based out of the airport, while Glasgow is slated to see a further increase in flying with Wizz Air. The airline will launch flights to Budapest and Bucharest. These previously departed from Edinburgh, but will now make the switch to Glasgow. Notably, the two new, or should I say existing services that are on the move, will depart in the same week from Glasgow for November, with 2 weekly flights to the two destinations. Thanks to the addition or moving of these routes, Glasgow will see 4 flights per week now with Wizz Air, thus it is an increase in their presence. Notably, its Airbus A321neo, which is making up a crucial part of the future fleet, is set to grow its presence in Italy, with 4 more aircraft being based in Rome and Milan respectively. That is going to conclude today's aviation news recap. As always, if you have absolutely any thoughts, you're more than welcome to drop them down below in the comments. Thanks a lot for your support. Please do take care and be safe. I'll see you next time, right here, the exact same time tomorrow, for more coverage on our aviation industry.